What's up everyone, we are back and today I am doing a video just talking about things I think if PoE 2 does immediately, as soon as possible, next patch, it will make the game extremely better. Now, a lot of these have already kind of been talked about. I know I'm a little late to this, but I still think it's important. I have 3 level 90 characters, 90 plus characters. I have over 300 hours in the game, and I think I'm comfortable with the changes that I think they absolutely need to make, especially with some things that piss me off immensely that I don't understand why they have it this way in the first place. Now I'm going to have a lot of these things on the list. I've seen content creators stretch just one of these things out into 15-20 minute videos. I think that's ridiculous. I don't like wasting people's time just blabbering and blabbering for ad revenue. So I'm going to keep them pretty to the point here. But with that being said, please like and hit that subscribe button. It helps the algorithm a ton. Leave a comment at the end. What you think, your opinion on some of the changes. We're not all going to agree on some of this. Some things that I want changed, some people are going to say is perfectly fine where it is, and that is perfectly fine. People can disagree. This is just my 2 cents on the matter and things that I think they should do. The first thing, and probably the most annoying thing in this game for me, is the Undeath Effects. Now, this has been a huge annoyance for an incredibly large amount of people from PoE 1 into PoE 2, and they have not changed it, and they've talked about it, and it doesn't look like they are ever going to remove them. Don't know why. I think it's ridiculous. I think once you kill something, you won. You don't get to kill me after you're dead. This isn't some end of Predator movie crap where you can set a bomb off. I think that's dumb. Don't know why they have it. But they at least need to weaken some of them. Corpse Explosion is still too strong, I think, and it goes way too far. I hate the fact that the playstyle is once you kill a rare, you have to back off for a couple seconds and wait to see if it's safe just to pick up the stuff from the thing you just killed. I think that is ridiculous. Just the fact that the main skill involved in that is how fast you can hover over a rare and read what it says, because if it's fast and it's chasing you back and you're backpedaling over corpses and you don't see it as Corpse Explosion, as soon as you backtrack into stuff that you killed, 30 seconds ago that you already forgot about, those things explode, kill you in like 1 to 2 hits. Super frustrating. They need to at least lower the damage or the range of some of these things, whether it's Corpse Explosion or the Ice Explosions, stuff like that. It's a little ridiculous. Another quick one is they really need to make things socket removable. That's been talked about a lot. I agree. You at least need to be able to remove the runes from the sockets just so you can simply maximize your resist better as you get different items. Maybe you get an item has a ton of fire resist or cold resist. You don't need those runes anymore. You can put those towards lightning resist to cap your resistances, especially with stuff with Undeath Effects that actually do elements. Not having your reses capped in this game is super punishing, and because they removed the crafting bench and many other things, I don't know if they're ever going to add that again. But until they do, or if they do not, you really need to have an easier way of capping your resistances. They're more important than ever, and they're also more difficult to get. It's just not fun. It's super annoying. Next thing is they should make Ascendancies re-speccable. And I don't mean just the Ascendancy points, because you can refund these for a gold cost. I mean changing the Ascendancy between the class. So an Infernalist can be a Blood Mage, or a Blood Mage can become an Infernalist, or vice versa. The campaign is too long, and they are very proud of that. But I don't think you should try and do it both ways. Whereas making a whole new character is already kind of painful because of the length. But what really isn't fun is saying, hey, you're an Infernalist. You want to play a Blood Mage or a Sanguimancer, whatever they call it. You have to level the exact same class. The only thing that'll really change is if you pick a different scale, and if you, when you get that first 2 Ascendancy points, you can basically, then things can get a little different, but you're basically leveling the same class. That is not fun, especially when the campaign is that long, and when they get rid of the Cruel point of this, because remember, like they said, they're getting rid of Cruel, and that will be X4, 5, and 6. That'll be just X1 through 6. Will all be different with no repeat. That might be even longer than just going through the Cruel route. So we're talking, 35 to 50 hours just to get a new class. That is not fun when you are picking the same damn character. Maybe that's a change they plan to do when they have all 12 classes introduced. That would make more sense. Just simply because I still think you should be able to respect them, but at least makes it a little bit easier to take in, simply because you are, you know, if you don't want to play the same class to switch Ascendancies, you have 11 other options and to choose from, with 3 Ascendancies of each that they're planning to do. Which again, when they have 3 Ascendancies, it's going to make it all the more reason to be able to switch Ascendancies. So if you want to try them all, you don't have to level and go through the campaign with the same class 3 times. Try them all. I think it's ridiculous. Speaking of Ascendancies, with the trials, whether it is the Sanctum style trial or the Ultimatum trial, these I think are a little too difficult. Especially the Sanctum one with traps that are involved. The traps do way too much honor damage. They need to tone those down a little bit, especially once they do damage over time. It is not fun to lose 80% of your honor just simply because you stood on a trap for like 0.2 seconds. You should be allowed to make a couple more mistakes. I think on that one you also should have a base honor system that just adds to it. For example, some builds are going with 16,000 honor, some builds are going with 4,000. It's just way too flexible with the ranges of honor you can get. I think there should be a better baseline. Every character starts at like 5,000 honor, and then, or you know, whatever it is, you can change that depending on what floor, how many floors of the trial. If you're doing a high level 4 floor, you know, have a little bit higher baseline than the very first time that you do it at around level 32 or whatever it is. I think they should have a better baseline, and then the defenses just add to that instead of the defenses, you know, creating some massive swing. For Ultimatum, it is very hard. I think it's more difficult than Sanctum in general. I think they should tone it down a little bit, and also, especially I think they need to tone down the life total of the Trial Master at the end. He's way too much of a sponge. He takes forever to kill, even if you're using a broken level of damage, not hella broken. Obviously, there's some builds there's even one that's doing infinite damage that I'm sure will get fixed as soon as possible, but even when you're doing an extreme amount of damage, he takes a little too long. But in general, I do like that fight. Another idea I see thrown around a lot these days is even if you fail, you should make it so that you can complete the trial, get your ascendancy, but you just don't get any rewards for it, so that even if you fail, you can still ascend if you put in the time to do it, because these take a lot longer than the trials did in PoE 1. So it sucks even more when you spend an hour doing something and then you end up just failing and you get nothing out of it. That is not cool. That is like some League of Legends shit, where you spend an hour and then you just end up no farther than where you were and you are just pissed off. Any combination of these I think would be great and needs to be done as soon as possible. Now this next topic is going to be divisive, and that is the portals, the one and done system. Some people say it's fine. Some people say if you fix the on-hit effects, it'll feel a lot better. It's not a big deal. I think for bosses, pinnacle bosses, Delirium, all that, if you want to make that a one portal thing, I am perfectly fine with that. But I think for general mapping, just general nodes on the map device, I think they should make it 2 portals. I think it would be nice to be able to zone in and do your fast mapping, and then if you die by some bullshit, which happens way too often in PoE 2, you can say, okay, that one rare monster isn't going to surprise me again, and I'm down to 1 portal, now I can lock in. I think there needs to be 2 portals in general mapping. If you want to keep 1 on the bosses, pinnacle bosses, I'm perfectly fine with that. I understand that. That is supposed to be hard. General mapping, it's nice just to relax. If you're a streamer, read chat. You have something on your second monitor, and a cool moment is happening, you can look over there without fear of losing the entire map. If you forget to pause, pausing in general just feels meh. It just feels slow. I don't want that to be the answer to that problem, like, oh, well, you're going to look or answer something in chat or do something just to hit escape. I think that's stupid. I really think we should get 2 portals for general mapping. Some places, even though you're at a waypoint, will not let you go to your hideout. It'll say unable to travel to your hideout from this area, even though you're standing on a waypoint. I think the trials, Ultimatum and Sanctum, are one of these areas. That's just dumb. That's just a stupid little gripe I have. I don't know why that's a thing. It makes trading sometimes a little annoying. If I'm in the middle of a trial, I have to go to a town, then go to my hideout to meet the person to make the trade. I just don't get it. In Act 3, nerf the Viper boss, please. The Viper chick you fight, you need to lower the AoE of the her flight phase, do a couple things, maybe lower the damage that the guards do on the side. I know they're probably really proud of this one, because there's a lot going on. It is a really cool fight. Some builds, it's a one and done, super easy. Some builds, it takes like an hour. When I was playing this Spark character and leveling, even with Twink gear, it took me like an hour to beat her. That's just a small thing. Some bosses need tweaks. I think the Viper one needs the most tweaks. I think she's a little too difficult. She is way too big of a wall for a lot of players. Next, I think they should lower or make the EXP curve from level 90 to 100. I think they should ease that a little bit, make it a little bit easier to get a level after 90 plus. It's very, very extreme. I think there's, at the time making this video, one, maybe two level 100 characters on softcore, and after almost a month of the game being released. I think that's a little ridiculous. I think they should ease up on that a little bit. I'm level 92 on this character. With the Undeath Effects and everything else that can just randomly kill you, me getting much higher than this is very, very slim, unless I am super locked in all of the time, which just simply probably is not going to happen. This one I'm sure is coming pretty soon, or at least I hope it is. This is more just a plea to get out as soon as possible. We need a map tab. Like, I swear to God, I am drowning in maps. I don't want to sell them. I just want them neatly organized. But this is absolutely ridiculous. I just have tab upon tab of random maps. You can reforge them 3 to 1 of the same tier to get another map, which is nice, but you just get too many. It's ridiculous. I'm sure it's coming, but this should have been at launch. They should have made a map tab at launch, even if they were planning on changing it. Maybe that's why they're like, we don't know if this is how we're going to do mapping or certain things, so we don't want to have to completely redo another tab. We decide to change it, but I don't care. To put someone on it, just make a map tab, even if it's annoying you have to change it, but we're dying over here. Now that's all the main ones. The last one is the bug fixes, which obviously they are going to work on. I'm not going to ping them for that and tell them terrible early access because there's bugs. Of course there's going to be bugs. There are some that are more important than others. The Act 2 Forge boss needs to be fixed. That one is buggy as hell. The one where you just can't attack for like 3 seconds at a time even though you're not stunned or anything, that seems to actually be a bug, not just some kind of debuff. That has gotten me killed multiple times. It seems to happen even more often when you're running Breach, which is just a death sentence in Breach when you have stuff charging at you constantly. But I'm not going to mention any bugs. I just hope they know the ones that are really screwing players over, and they're listening to the ones they need to change first, which, if given GGG's track record, they are paying attention to the ones that are the worst, and they will fix those first. Those will just come as the game progresses, as far as the bug changes. So that is all the main ones that I think that if they change, this is going to be a Game of the Year contender. A lot of annoyances that I would say this is a 10 out of 10 game if they just change stuff. Obviously, more stuff needs to be added, but for an early access game and a starting point, if they make these changes, I will gladly say that I prefer this over PoE 1. Currently, though, with all these annoyances, I kinda am more excited for the new PoE 1 League while they get some of this stuff worked out and changed a little bit. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, no, I love this a lot better than PoE 1, simply because it's, a little bit more digestible as far as the skills and the links. The skill tree is a little bit more straightforward with the attribute changes and all that, and that is great. Personally, for me, I still think I'm a little bit more excited for the PoE 1 League while they get some of this stuff worked out. So again, make sure you like and subscribe to the video if you want to see some more PoE 2 content. Go get followed over on twitch.tv/safeontalk and join the description. Join the Discord with the link in the description. All the links are in the description. Come hang out with me. Come hang out with our smart little community. If you have any questions, I try to answer them as much as I can. Do not be afraid to come in just to ask a question and stay a while and hang out with us while we farm for those fat loots. Thanks everyone for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. thing. You can already, you can already reforge them, or rephrase this, but either raise the chance, I think it's 2% to get a greater one, or just make them either a 3, maybe even a 5 to 1 reforge that'll automatically give you the greater essence of that type. I think that will be better. It'll give us maybe a better farming strategy, or at least one that is closer to Breach. Right now it's just Breach. Breach is the best. You get Rarity Magic Find, that's going to get nerfed, almost guaranteed. It's not going to work for currency. So that will go down, but I still think Breach will be better, even with the Magic Find nerf, than any of the other mechanics in general.